I'll begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, please. Allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Okay.
I just have a question on this.
Okay.
I have a constituent mention just now. They'd like to see public input on every agenda, and I know it's usually on there. I didn't know if there was any way we could add public input to the agenda tonight.
I don't see any reason why it can't be under any other business. Works for me.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. So without objection, we'll put it in that place. So tonight we have actually quite a number of minutes. Because we have so many, if I can have us each do them one at a time, just to make certain that we have no changes. So I would accept a motion for the January 31st, 2014 Public Safety Subcommittee.
I move we accept the minutes as presented.
Second.
Okay, is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor of accepting the minutes as presented? Is there any opposed?
Isn't it just supposed to be the people on that committee?
Well, actually, thank you very much. Yeah,
The rest of us wouldn't know.
that is absolutely, that is perfectly fine. I was here for them all, so I thank you.
You can vote every time.
Okay, so for those who were on the Public Safety Subcommittee,
We don't have a quorum, we have two.
I don't
There's
think
no
you
one
for
Anything else, there was a quorum.
we'll wait until
One of them
her
will- one of them will arrive, we can do it later.
is on his way, so
That's 2 out of 4.
who are we missing?
Actually, 2 out of 5. You weren't here.
3, 7,
4 attended. Well,
Okay,
yeah,
that's fine.
okay.
We'll,
One of the
I am aware that
absentees
Herb
here,
is on
but
his
we
way,
should- We
so
should wait until we have a quorum of the people that were there.
certainly acceptable. Okay, moving on to the Registry of Deeds. The subcommittee for the Registry of Deeds, which were, let's see, there's some,
I move that these minutes be approved, and I think we do have, we have 3 that attended, one that did not attend is here, Steve, and this one's not here, so we have a quorum.
thank you. Any, so a motion
I move to accept it.
and a second, please? Thank you.
Yeah,
All in favor? Okay. Nursing Home Subcommittee. I move to accept the Nursing Home Subcommittee minutes as presented. Is there a second? Thank you. Are there any changes to those minutes? Seeing none, all in favor of accepting those minutes? Aye. Motion carries. Okay. No, Guy was absent. Yep. Okay. Delegation meeting of February 4th, 2014. May I have a motion, please?
I move the minutes of February 4th, 2014.
Thank you. Second, please. I will second them. Discussion.
Just one word correction, that's all.
Yeah.
What it says, it's 2014 budget debt service, third to last sentence, it would be much more costly. That's all, it'll be in there. We're being picky.
That works for me. Any other discussion on these minutes? Seeing none, all in favor of the March 4th minutes of the delegation, please raise your hand.
That's today.
February 4th. I'm sorry, February 4th. Thank you. 14, so one.
That's everyone?
Is there any opposed?
Yep.
Martina?
One opposed or an abstention?
No, I'm voting.
Oh, okay, so
I have my, first time.
I apologize,
I'm sorry,
I
I don't
didn't
have,
catch it.
I took my contacts out, I don't have my reading glasses, so it's.
A little disoriented.
Yes,
That's okay.
thank you.
That's
I'm
okay.
definitely a little disoriented.
Okay, the minutes for February 10th, 2014. Delegation meeting. May I have a motion? Okay, and a second? Representative Holmes, second. Any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. February 11th.
Somewhere along the line, I read something about, there was the draft that Angela did, and then I got something that said there was a revised. And I printed out both of them, and I forgot to say which was which, and looking at them, there's no difference between them. So,
They are as presented on our desk, so those are the ones we are voting on.
they're no different from what it said as being revised. And I'll-
Any further discussion? All in favor?
I'll make it.
And Bob, second. Okay. Do we have everything? All in favor? Any opposed? Okay. February 18th.
Yeah.
May I have a motion? Thank you.
Madam Chair, this is delegation meeting minutes.
This is the delegation meeting minutes of February 18th. That is correct. Can I have a motion, please?
Yeah, and wait, there's a problem here.
Well,
because
wait. We need to have them on the floor. May I have a motion, please?
I move that we don't accept it until we address a mistake in here.
Could we do that under discussion? May I please have a motion to put the minutes on the floor?
So moved.
Thank you. And a second. Bob, Dick Burton. Any discussion?
Yes, my motion came first, and that was that we not vote on this until we discuss it. It says that she asked for the county telephone call conference to direct the Comcast, and he was attending to a youth emergency. I don't doubt that he was attending to a youth emergency. I don't doubt he said that to you. I don't doubt that you said it to the press and everybody found out that way. But it never, ever was mentioned in this meeting. And I don't think we ought to put something in there that wasn't true. It was not mentioned in the meeting, and I think that the film would bear that out. It was never mentioned in the meeting. So I think we ought to strike that, or alternatively, put it in abeyance, review the film, and then vote.
That's a comment for the floor. Yes.
I don't necessarily see a problem with having the words in there. Just as the record ought to show that it isn't something that was said during the meeting. This whole business apparently happened before the meeting started. The meeting started at 5:44, or whatever it says here. But all of any discussion concerning Representative Comtois occurred before the meeting started. But the only requirement is that the reason be stated. It doesn't say that somebody has to have said it, or it had to be said at any particular time. As long as it's in the minutes, that the reason was stated, then that covers the law and everything.
I think the minutes record that the meeting didn't begin until after all of that dialogue. Chair called, if you look at the very last sentence, Chair called the meeting, delegation meeting to order at 5:44, so it it does indicate that it happened prior to calling the meeting to order.
Okay, as long as the record is clear that happened before the meeting, it's also one of the problems, as far as I
I have one sentence to add into this that happened again prior to the opening of the meeting, which led up to the actual phone. To insert the sentence after roof emergency, this was done after consulting RSA 91A:2 with specific examination / discussion of RSA 91A:2, Roman numeral 3, for its permissibility.
When did that?
When did that happen? Why are we putting stuff in that didn't happen? That didn't happen. That discussion of the original law didn't happen.
Representative Gulick, Deborah made a photocopy of one and brought it. You actually brought up the fact that the words may, there was, Sylvia
That came
was
way after.
deep into this discussion. There was a tremendous amount of
Way
discussion.
after.
Okay.
Way after.
Motion is made.
Would you please listen to me, that came after Beth's motion to accept the commissioner's budget. And so all that discussion came at that time, not before. And I think we have that tape, and I think we ought to take a good look at it. It didn't happen before.
Thank you. Motion is on the floor to amend the minutes with adding that sentence. Is there any other changes to these minutes? Seeing none, yes.
I'm just curious, I've never seen something in the minutes that occurred outside of the meeting. So I'm just wondering about the first paragraph being a part of the minutes.
It was critical to the reason that so much happened during that meeting, so it's critical that that be entered into the record so that it is part of the minutes. Seeing no further discussion, all in favor of the changes as proposed, please raise your hand. Are you voting in proposal of the minute changes? Right. One, I need hands raised.
He was on the phone.
Whomever is, who was here when this meeting took place? Please raise your hand for accepting the changes. 1, 2, yes, 3, 4, 5, no, 6, 7. Those opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Motion fails.
I was not here at the beginning, so I'm assuming that I'm not allowed to vote.
No, you can.
Were you there when
I was
all
there
of
for the
these
meeting, but not at the beginning.
Were you here when all this discussion took place? Were you here when Deborah handed me the RSA, the 91A, I went
No,
over
I
to
was
Rep.
not.
Celia?
Before the meeting.
There was no meeting going on
Right.
at that time.
Other members were not here then either, like Representative Adams is not here.
Ian and I came about the same time.
Okay.
Right, Representative Greenmore wasn't here either.
We should count it as votes.
During that time.
There was-
Can we have a roll call on this?
We can absolutely have a roll call.
Well,
We are inserting the sentence in those minutes to reflect the reason why Representative Guy Comtois was on the phone that evening. There was tremendous discussion about the fact that we absolutely needed a quorum. We certainly couldn't hold the meeting without a quorum. Representative Gulick was part of that conversation. We consulted RSA 91A to verify indeed we needed a quorum and that what was permissible for someone to be on the phone, certainly very similar to when we were electing someone for the Belknap County or the Belknap Mountain, I'm sorry, the Gunstock Commission. He tried to be here, he was unable to be here due to an emergency, and certainly if another person had contacted me and requested the same thing, we would have tried, and in fact, I asked Deborah, is there any way we could set up other lines, and I was told no. So,
That is not true. You were not told no.
oh,
I was told we would do it.
I
answered that we would
requested,
do it. No.
I requested, and I was told that we only had one speakerphone, that was the only connection that was going, but anyway. All right, so we have a roll call we have a motion on the floor and a roll call to be called, please.
Would you recognize that?
I don't know if it's a question, I think that the confusion about who can vote and who can't vote is a really good example of a reason why you shouldn't have a paragraph about what happened before the meeting started and before we had quorum. Because I didn't hear any of that conversation about 91A, and neither did most of the people in the room. And I don't see any problem with once you called the meeting to order late because of a snowstorm or something. But I think it just gets confusing if we're voting on what happened before the meeting started and then what happened after
I
the meeting
think in this
started.
case, it's germane very specifically because of the extenuating circumstances of this meeting. So, the motion is on the floor, let's call the roll. If the motion passes, it's done. If it fails, then those who were aware that that Guy was absent, that he was on the speakerphone, that we had consulted 91A.
Before the meeting.
This is how we came about having Guy on the phone in the meeting. I mean, you even requested a roll call as that was necessary for him to vote. That was part of your word, so, okay.
No, I don't remember that at all. However, would you please indicate that this goes to all the discussion that I don't remember, but you said came before the meeting, that it did not happen during the meeting, that it came before the meeting.
It is germane to the record.
Would you,
Thank you.
would you put it this way? Very germane to the record, but happening before the meeting, blah, blah, blah. Would you put it that way, please?
I apologize. Please say that again.
I'm saying
Representative
either that, I don't care, you call it whatever you want, say that this is very germane to the meeting, although the vote and discussion about Representative Comcliffe being on the speakerphone and all that did not occur during the meeting.
Representative Gulick, that is clear in the minutes. The chair called the Belknap County delegation meeting to order at 5:44 p.m. That happens after this discussion. It is clear that this happened before the meeting was called to order. As if you look at any other set of minutes, it shows when a meeting is called to order.
Yes, that's correct.
Thank you.
Is this before the quorum?
Pardon me?
Was it before we had a quorum?
Yes.
Was it before we had a quorum?
It was as we were either yes or no. I don't have an answer, but when we finally had him on the phone, we had a quorum because that was critical to have a quorum in order for him to be on the speakerphone.
No.
Do you recall that part?
Wait.
Okay. All right. There is a motion on the floor. Yes, Representative?
I was here.
Yes.
There was no quorum. Representative Arsenal was here and she left. There was a discussion going on between you and Ms. Shackett concerning something. You had paper in your hand, had 2 pages, I believe, stapled at the top. And you and Ms. Shackett were having a private discussion. She was staying up there by the desk talking to you. She went back to her seat. You subsequently walked down there and talked to her. No idea what you said. It was not audible to me, and I was sitting right where Representative Raymond was sitting. Now, this all happened before there was any quorum. We were sitting waiting for a quorum to arrive. And I don't remember who finally was the last one that was here to make a quorum. But any discussions that you had, I sitting here did not hear what they were. There was obviously something going on. There was a telephone in front of Representative Burchell. And As it became apparent that a quorum was here, Representative Conklin was called, and the meeting started. But as far as there being a generalized discussion about RSA 91A, there was none. And I can say that categorically.
Representative Burchell?
I would dispute that. Because
Excuse me. Decorum. Thank
I would dispute that because I stood where Representative Cormier and heard a general discussion between the chair and between the county administrator. Now, whether everybody heard that or not, I can't say, but it was certainly on.
Thank you.
I remember when we did discuss it, it was before the quorum, as I recall. I was involved. The chair showed me the statute. I'm sorry, I was involved also in part of that discussion. We were talking about it, so it happened.
Somebody should.
Is there a, I have a question, Rick Hewitt. Do you doubt the veracity of what's being said here? Is that the problem with adding this one sentence?
I didn't say that.
Okay, then, we have a sentence here that describes the discussion that happened in our minutes that we've all agreed to that happened before 5:44. So I just don't understand why all of a sudden we're stopped here, dead in this meeting, because of, obviously, Deb herself has said she had this discussion in this room with the
I did
chair.
not say that.
You did say that, you did say it just now. You said that you were discussing the 91A
No, I
for
did
the
not
phone.
say that. I absolutely did not say that.
Ms. Jackson said it or not, I heard it.
Thank you.
I'll push you there.
Okay, so if you are, for those who were here, this is an important part of what happened in this meeting. As we are all aware, it is being called into question. So if all who have
I'm
heard
not aware.
and is aware that, who was here that night and understands that that is a true statement, please call the roll.
So the people that were present at that meeting, are we calling everybody or are we calling
I
only
would,
those?
everyone who was present at that meeting. Yes.
What if we were here, and I was here, and Representative Hewitt was here, and we didn't hear the discussion? Now, that puts us in a bad place. You say that it happened here, it happened over there. Representative Burchell,
Representative Gulick.
yes, and somebody, and Representative Sylvia did, but some of us didn't. It was not an open discussion, we didn't hear it.
Representative Gulick, you specifically sat over where Representative Fields is
Exactly right.
and
It was no
had
meeting where I wasn't
91A
even here.
open. And said specifically, the chair may, and those were issues that you were discussing. So,
I beg your
okay.
pardon.
Madam Chair, I said that later following it, that
No.
she,
It was
yeah, well, we can watch the tape.
Okay.
But I'm pretty sure.
I
that
think
she
we should
followed
watch
it.
the
Okay.
Let's watch them. Madam Chair, I move that we watch the tape.
It's not our tape, we can't hear.
How do we get it? It's public.
It'll be on the
Call
website.
the question.
Okay, call the question. Understanding that this happened prior to the calling of the meeting, so those who were present at the meeting and are aware of the first part of that statement, those would be the ones who would vote that in favor of adding one sentence to these minutes that shows that the discussion was part of the prior part of this meeting.
I have a question about that.
Okay.
That's just, the people who were here at the time this all happened, there wasn't a quorum. We didn't have a quorum until the meeting started. The meeting started very shortly after we got a quorum. We only waited for somebody to take his coat off, I don't know what it was. If you're asking, which is saying that the only people who can vote are people who were here at the time it happened, there wasn't a quorum here.
Those that were here are fully aware of the pieces. I have no other way of,
Can we vote on my request to call, with this discussion is
Fine.
very, very redundant.
fine, go ahead.
Let's vote on, we have to vote on whether we end discussion and vote on the motion.
Fine, a motion to end discussion has been made. Is there a second? Second by Representative Burchell. Motion, discussion has been ended. We'll talk about minutes after,
Vote
please.
to end. We move to end it and vote.
So now we'll vote to
End the discussion.
end discussion. All in favor? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. All opposed? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 opposed. Oh, you weren't there.
I wasn't here.
Oh, well, then I can't.
You can vote to close discussion.
Oh, yes, discussion.
I don't even know what this is all about.
All right, so nine was approved and 5 against, right?
Close
I
discussion.
can't hear you.
Can we get through the minutes first, please, since
Well,
that's...
this is germane to this particular thing.
We just voted for no more discussion
Discussion.
to have the vote.
Okay.
That's what
I've had my
calling
question
question
for 10
means.
minutes.
Please call the roll.
Okay, and who exactly am I calling?
Those who were in attendance at that meeting,
I
which
wasn't
would
there, so I'm
be
not sure.
Representative Arsenault, Burchell, DiMartino, Flanders, Greenmore, Gulick, Hewitt, you were here for the meeting. Luther, Raymond, Sylvia, Tilton, Vadney, Worsman, and Contra was available by phone.
So he gets a vote?
He was part of the meeting.
But the meeting hasn't started. Madam Chair, it hasn't started, and we're voting on something that these people have no personal knowledge of. How can they vote if they don't have personal knowledge of
That's
it?
redundant. We just voted to end these questions.
Okay. So Arsenal, we're going to call the roll to enter into the record that one sentence, that this was done after consulting the RSA.
I would say no.
Okay. Burchell,
Yes.
Comtois,
It happened before I was on the phone before the meeting.
all right, so abstain.
What's the name?
DiMartino,
No.
Flanders, is not here. Was he at the meeting?
No, he was.
Okay, so he's absent. Greenmore,
I wasn't here. Dang,
okay.
sorry.
Gulick,
No.
Luther,
No.
Raymond,
Abstain.
Sylvia,
Yes.
Tilton,
Yes.
Vadney,
Abstain.
and Worsman.
Yes.
Somebody call mine.
So it's 4 to 4.
Oh, Hewitt.
Hewitt. Okay, Hewitt.
No.
Okay, so we have 5 noes and 4 yeses, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 abstentions.
Motion fails.
Okay.
Croc TV.